Hey everyone, so today we're going to play with a foam roller, and ideally you're going to have a long one. There are ones that are short, but the long one so that we can lie on it. I do have a series of video foam roller releases which I'll link below, and you can follow those if you are in for release mode, but now we're going for work mode. So the first thing we're going to have to do is get onto the roller. So positioning yourself so that you have your tail at one end and then slowly just walking your way down, making sure your head is supported at the other end. So making your alignment of your legs nice and balanced. So the wider your feet, the bigger the base of support and the easier it will feel. But really still working within alignment is the best. So bringing those legs a little bit closer to each other. Finding the position of the back of the head between the shoulders and the pelvis on the roller, and then just letting your body tissue just sort of sink around it. We're going to raise the arms straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to go for a shoulder reach. So lengthening the fingertips up towards the sky, letting the shoulders come around the ribs, and then sinking them down around the roller edge. So none of this is forced movement. It is just a nice easy slide, feeling the shoulder blades sliding over the ribs. And if you can visualize some of the muscles that are living behind and in front of the shoulders and on the rib cage, then great. You can start to think of those sliding over each other. The point is for it to feel nice and smooth as you do the work. We'll go for one more reaching up and then down, and then we're going to take it into a scissor motion. So one arm is going to travel backward and the other one forward. And at neither point are we going to allow the arms to touch the floor. So making your balance a little bit easier, a little bit more complicated, not easier. But feeling that the arms are still working up against gravity. So we don't want to drop the arm down towards the ground too fast or with no control. And then once the left arm is back over your head, we're going to hold there. We're going to make a circle all the way around until the right arm is over your head. And then again, feed the arm back for the left and feed the arm back for the right, and then make a circle all the way around. Now I want you to remember the sequence because we're going to do it again later in the class. So right goes back, left goes back, and then we circle around. And we'll go again, left back and right back, and circle all the way around. That's going to make your shoulders feel really nice and balanced. From here, we're going to take both arms behind you, getting a nice long reach. Just be careful that you don't flare your rib cage and lose contact with the roller behind. So everything's got this nice long energy out of it. And then bringing the arms all the way down to the sides again. And sending the arms backwards and bringing the arms forwards. This workout is fantastic as is, but if you ever wanted to challenge yourself, you could do all of the arm series we're doing today with weights in your hands, making it a little bit more challenging. But stay tuned, we'll bring a weight and foam roller exercise to you soon. Last one, sending the arms all the way back, and then bringing the arms down towards your side. Let the palms just roll up to the ceiling and enjoy that feeling of wide spread across the front of your shoulders. So we're just going to maintain this beautiful organization we've created in the upper body. So not trying to tense and bring shoulders forward, and bring one knee up into the air and then lowering it back down. And then the other leg going up and down. This is a fairly simple exercise, but because you're on a roller, it makes it a little bit more challenging. I've also asked you to turn your palms up, which is going to make it even more challenging because we're so used to putting hands down and creating force in our upper body. But I'm doing this for a reason, because we're about to take it into a progression. Please remember though, if the moves as we go along are too much for you, just stick with the version that was better. So elbows are on the ground, fingertips are to the ceiling, and we're doing the same movement. A knee floating up and down and up and down. Don't be in a hurry to change your legs. Always find the foot to rest on the floor so that you're ready to take the next leg away from the mat. I'm already picking up which side is my easier. I'm sure you have too. All right, here we go. A little bit of an advancement. We're going to bring the right arm to the ceiling, float the left leg up and bringing it back down. You're going to lift the right leg as well, and then lowering it down, and then bringing the elbow to the floor. Let's set the left arm up to the ceiling and bringing the leg up and down. Just check that when that arm is up to the sky, you haven't let that shoulder creep forward like we did in our very first exercise. So here we go. Are you ready? Two arms are to the ceiling, and we're lifting a leg and we're lowering a leg. This is amazing core balancing work. So many people still think of core as crunching your abs. That's not how I believe it. It's making sure that you are working just as much as necessary, but not overly working in other parts of the body. Yep, you can see it. It's a little bit of a challenge as you've got no support from your hands and you're moving your limbs up into the air. We're adding on, we're taking the leg up and we're scissoring our arms backwards. So opposite arm to leg goes back behind you and changing sides. Notice what's happening to your balance and trying not to fix your eyes on just one point, but really to be a little softer through the eyes. Make sure your breathing is constant. You'll find a breath pattern, I'm sure, that'll be working easiest for you. The other thing with this exercise is the return of the leg to the floor. It shouldn't slam down. It should be nice and quiet, tippy-toe touching, and then all the way back towards the mat. All right, from here we're just going to tip ourselves off of the roller and lie ourselves down onto our back surface. So this should feel really good as we find the cushioning of the flooring, the mat, whatever it is that you're on. We're going to move our roller now into the shortened position and place it under your pelvis. So raising the hips up into the air and then just bringing your knees up one at a time back into the air. So from here, we're going to go into a right angle position, flexing through the feet, and we're going to lower the left heel down towards touching the ground and then bringing it back up. And then the other side is going down and bringing it up. Remember, when we do these exercises, we're looking for length coming from the lower part of your rib cage all the way down towards your thigh. So you don't want to be stressing your body out. There shouldn't be a pushing out of your abdominal wall. It's a very easy, simple motion. We're going to move that into an oblique tap. So the left foot is going to go over to the right side and then bring it in, and then right over towards left. So the thigh is crossing the midline, but the pelvis is still staying on the roller's edge. So no lifting of your hips behind you. And again, one more time to each side. So as I said, this is a superb series. Feel free to stay with the single variation, otherwise we're going for doubles. 4 is our number as we lower our heels toward the floor and then bringing it back up. So there's no need to have to touch the ground if you're starting to do worse things in your body, like arching your back or creating tension at the shoulder or at the abdominal wall. And then last one through the middle, and then we're going to do our oblique taps. So we're going to swivel both our legs over towards the right side and tip them down and bring them up. Swivel them towards the left and lower them down and bring them up. So as you're going over to the side, you're going to feel lengthening through that extra long side, whether it be the right or the left side, depending on where you're going. All right, from here we're going to send our legs up towards the ceiling. We don't often lie with our legs like this, so this is a great place just to do a little bit of feeling of lymphatic flow. So we're going to be flexing and pointing at our ankle joints, just getting a little bit of movement through that lymph coming all the way back towards our heart, and then circling our ankles around, and maybe they'll click like mine do. And then going the opposite way with your circling. And then finding balance again. So we're going to do a scissor motion with our legs. So one leg is going to come closer to you as the other leg starts to reach away, and then they'll slide past each other. And as they move, again, you're looking for balance behind the back of the pelvis. And if your leg is not completely straight, then just let a little bit of softness happen in the knee. We're going to take it into a bicycle stride, so pulling the furthest leg in towards a knee bend and then unfolding it toward the ceiling. So again, it's a controlled movement in the forward motion. And of course, we're going to do a backward motion. So sliding the leg out and away from you, lengthening long through the front of your thighs. And then last ones here as we bring our legs back up towards the ceiling, join the feet together, heels together, toes apart as we slide the legs down about halfway. And then you're going to fold your knees in for a frog and then push the legs out. So because you're working just with you here, there's not a lot of resistance. The resistance is trying to find that sweet spot between you and gravity. But you can imagine things like ankle weights or sort of pushing through thick mud or honey or molasses or whatever image keeps coming up for you. And we'll go for one more, reaching it out long, and then we're going to take a circle. So lifting the legs up and opening the legs out and around. So the circle's not going to go very big. Remember, the aim is to keep the pelvis steady onto the foam roller. And we've done all the preparation work to make sure that you're not going to force your back into an arch or pop that belly up towards the ceiling. And when the legs join again, we'll change direction, so opening them wide and bringing them back. I seem to be popping and cracking a lot today, which is, usual, so don't feel weird if you're doing the same things. One more time, bringing the legs together. Now remember that exercise we did with our arms? We're going to do it with our legs. So we're going to bring the left leg to you and the right leg away and circle the legs around so that the right leg is close. Then we slide it past each other twice. 1, 2, and then circle around and wide and sliding through. 1, 2, and opening wide. So a nice big fan kick with your legs as you circle each leg inside of the hip socket. It can be a little bit of a coordinated movement, this one. And we've got one more time to go to finish it all off, and then circle all the way back. Bringing the legs in, knees together. We'll just finish with a little stretch. So as we're going to take our legs over towards one side, your hip's going to peel off on that direction. As you come across to the other side, you're going to get a nice massage down onto the side that you're going toward. So we'll just go from side to side, just maybe 3 times to each, just getting a little bit of release in the back of the body. And coming back through to the center, you're going to lower your right foot to the floor, pull your left knee in, just holding it there. And then if you've got the range, you're going to slide your right leg out along the surface of the floor. And that's going to give you a good stretch coming down the front aspect of your thigh. So just a few breaths here, again checking in with other parts that you're not jamming up into your shoulders, creating too much tension in other areas. And then we're going to draw the right knee in nice and controlled, and then lowering the left leg down. Now, if you don't feel you can straighten the left leg, just keep it where it is in a bent knee variation instead. Otherwise, extending that leg all the way out. So it definitely adds to the stretch if you have a long leg, but the body is interesting. It will go when it wants to go, not when we think we need to go there. All right, let's bring the feet back down to the floor, lifting the hips up, and then just rolling the roller away from you. So we're going to place our feet on top of the roller's edge, and then from here, we're going to take it into a bridge. So you're going to roll through the pelvis, pushing down onto the middle of your foot. Find your bridge height, and then rolling your body all the way back down again to find the mat surface. So as we're peeling up, I'm sure you've done plenty of bridging in your life, and you can think of wonderful images as you're rolling your spine up and down. But the added benefit of the roller underneath your feet is really going to target the back of your thighs, the hamstrings. So be mindful that you're not going to be cramping. And a useful image to think of is, what are the bones doing inside of you? So the pelvic bones, the sit bones down at the bottom part of you, they're going to come closer to each other as your hips are raising. That's going to support the musculature around the glutes and the hamstrings, and then coming back towards the mat. So if you take away that intention of trying to push the body up and really use a lot of force and rather focus on how the bones are moving, you'll probably find that your body adapts really well. All right, last one as we bring our body down toward the floor. So if you have a problem with rolling your spine up, maybe don't do this exercise, just do the halfway version. So I'll talk you through that first. So we're going to send the arms all the way back for a nice breath in. And as you exhale, we're just going to curl the head and shoulders forward, looking towards your thighs, and then lowering yourself back down. So that might be where you stay. Perfectly okay. Otherwise, as we curl up, you're going to roll forward, and you're going to start to lengthen your legs, peeling yourself all the way up, reaching towards your toes, and then rolling yourself down again, timing it so that as arms are going back, knees are bending, and the roller is in position again.
And again, curling the top of the head forward, lengthening through the arms, lengthening through the legs, reaching forward, feeling the belly draw all the way back behind you. And again, melting your spine onto the mat surface as those feet come in toward you, finding the arches of the feet each time. We've got 2 more to go as we curl our body all the way up towards the top. Long line from the top of the head all the way towards your toes. And this is a great stretch. And of course, if you're finding tension in the back of the body, just soften where you need to. And last one, we're going to stay all the way up at the top and enjoy that stretch for just a little bit longer. And then bringing you back upright into sitting. So that was our workout on the foam roller today. There are plenty of more exercises to do, so keep watching out for another series. Bye.